and welcome back to another Supernatural review, and this is season 5 episode 14, My Bloody Valentine. If you're new here, I do a recap and review every single episode, so let's get into it. So lots of things to say about this episode, and I'm not exactly sure where to start. Maybe I'll start with like the title, My Bloody Valentine. It's kind of interesting because I think this is the year where Jensen's in a movie called My Bloody Valentine. And I think I've talked about this before, how it's interesting how Dean and Sam both did horror movies at the same time and came out around the same time that were also like remakes. So Jensen was in My Bloody Valentine and Jared was in Friday the 13th. So I think the writers obviously knew about My Bloody Valentine, and so they decided to call this episode My Bloody Valentine. But I don't think we have an episode called Friday the 13th. And I think they called it My Bloody Valentine because this episode was coming out right around Valentine's Day, and so a lot of times TV shows will have like holiday themed episodes like Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like we've seen that with Supernatural will do Christmas episode, like some shows, like, you know, back in the day, like Friends, they would do every single holiday every year. But it's something where that was like, I don't know, serving less common. And so Supernatural does, I feel like, every holiday just once. So like maybe one season has one holiday, and they don't do all the holidays in the season. So this one came out around Valentine's Day, and I wanted to do a Valentine's Day episode. And in the episode too, it's like about Valentine's, it's around the time of Valentine's Day, but the episode wasn't about like Cupid and Valentine's Day, even though Cupid was featured in it. So this was a very serialized episode, and the episode before this was kind of a serialized episode, but felt a little bit episodic in a way, but I think I touched on it, but I was calling it serialized. You know, in the end, it was kind of serialized. This was even more serialized. Less episodic. It kind of presents itself at the beginning as episodic, but then it kind of just gets thrown out the window, and it feels overall very serialized. So I'm like, we're getting to this point where like we're not having that many like episodic episodes with some serialization. It's more serialized episodes that feel a little episodic, but in the end are serialized. So this episode had one of the 4 horsemen, and this is the second horseman we've seen in Supernatural and obviously seen in this season. And it's something where I wonder if the writers forgot they were supposed to do, you know, the 4 horsemen. I'm trying to forget. Death is another one that we see. I don't know when we finally see it, but I'm forgetting what the 4th one is. But I think it was something with the writers' room. They were like, I think they originally wanted to do a Valentine's Day episode with Cupid. And so that was like the initial plan. And then they were like, oh my God, we have to do these horsemen. Like, we're not doing these horsemen episodes. Can we make this episode about one of the horsemen? And so they try to fit it in, and they try to make it work, and like I guess in a way it works a little bit, but it was just felt a little bit too forced. And it's something where I wanted an episode about Cupid and Valentine's Day, and I think that's like interesting enough. And so it kind of feels like I don't know if it was this episode or the episode before where it just felt like there was a lot of things happening. Like this episode felt like there was a lot of things happening at once. And I don't know if it's because the writers just have so many great ideas and they can't make more episodes or whatever, but I don't know. I kind of wish if they like realized, oh wait, we need to make this a horseman episode, whatever, that they pushed the Valentine's Day episode to like another season. Like, you know, it's a good idea. And I don't know if they knew at the time that there was going to be another season, because I don't, you know, Eric Kirby left after season 5, and I don't know if they like knew the show was going to continue at this point. Like, I don't know, maybe they were just like, we really want to do this episode. Maybe the studio was like, please have a holiday themed episode. I don't know. So actually this episode is on the bad list. It's not bad. I feel like it's a little bit more okay, and then but leans towards the bad. So that's why it's getting on the bad list, just because the season had so many great episodes. I feel like there's a lot happening. It's all over the place. I wanted a Valentine's themed episode, more Cupid, and then they threw in the horsemen. It was kind of also like hunger for things not just like food, it was like all these different things too. You know, they brought back that kind of Sam, I guess, not kind, but that version of Sam, you know, with the demon blood, which I feel like works actually perfectly. And it's something where it's like, I feel like there's been enough time past that we haven't seen this side to him, so it feels good, like it doesn't feel like we've seen too much of this, I guess. So the timing felt like it worked, and it just kind of made sense. So I think that was actually a good aspect to it. You know, the cast eating a lot is just like, I think they just wanted to represent that. But what kind of makes this episode not terrible is kind of the ending. Is like, there's a lot of iconic lines from this episode that you kind of forget. Like, you know, you've seen these iconic lines or iconic scenes, and you kind of forget where it is, and then you rewatch this episode and you are like, oh my god, it's from this episode. So there's a lot of that in this, and it's kind of, you know, it gets into like Dean, like he doesn't have hunger or anything. Like he, you know, he's like, I do what I want, like I get what I want. But in the end, like the horseman was like, you're already dead inside. So it's just like, it gets a lot into like Dean, and it's like very clear, like, you know, we're 5 seasons in, which, you know, feels a lot to them, but you know, with that's only 1/3 of the series, because there's 15 seasons, that it's just so much like, this is who Dean is, and this is how he feels about life in this way. And then it's crazy, we have 10 more seasons of him feeling this way, but we already see it. And you know, Jensen's acting is amazing and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad, and I think that was kind of like the episode before. I feel like there's good things and there's bad things, but just because a lot of these episodes in this season is strong, like this ends up going on the bad list. And again, like it just, I don't know, it just felt like very push the horseman thing, and I don't know, like I feel like the writers could have done a better job, and I'm just gonna say that. But I'm gonna end it here. So, you know, comment below your thoughts. You know, if you disagree, comment that. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.